Alright guys, the time has come. This Cadillac is going to make, or at least attempt to make, its first trip to the gas station in about 20 years. So, brakes are done, fuel system's done, ignition system is done, new tires are on. There's a few little things I want to do before we go. So the first thing is, I have to put some fuel in it. I have a little bit of 87 that I'm going to put in it just because I don't think it'll make it. I've been running it, you know, little test drives and, you know, fixing some things, and it's almost out of gas. I never put a lot of gas in it to begin with, so we're going to put that in. Second, I want to check the differential lube just because I noticed it is wet underneath the diff. Let me show you guys that. So you can see the diff is wet, and I feel like all the old cars I've had lately have had this issue, but we're going to fill it up for the trip. What we need to do in order to get it to stop leaking, that's a different story. But I just want to make sure it has gear lube in it, because I feel like it could lock up. The trip is only about 7 miles, I think. But either way. Next, what I want to do is we're going to tune on it just a little bit. We're going to check the timing, we're going to check the dwell for the ignition, and then maybe adjust on the carburetor a little bit. Check out this cool, old school inductive engine analyzer that I got out of some old guy's garage that had died. It was an estate sale thing. Here's my timing light. But yeah, we'll use those and see what we can do. Story time. So, my wife's grandma years ago had an old Lincoln Town Car that she let sit for a long time, and she was getting older, so she ended up selling it, and the diff had been leaking for so long, little by little, that there was not any diff fluid left in it, and the people who bought it, they locked up the rear diff in the highway on the way after they bought it, and it was just a huge issue. So we don't want to do that here. I already cleaned around the drain plug. I want to pop it off, and we'll stick our finger in there and see if we can't feel any diff lube in there. Alright. My finger doesn't go that far in it, but I don't feel anything at all. And there's probably some in it. This is just a little bit of leftover from some Corvette diffs. I also bought a my exhaust pipe is right in the way. I can't get. I should have bought one of those ones with the bag. I don't think there's enough fluid in here to actually get it in. That's super annoying. Okay. Alright, we're moving up in the world. We have a bottle that's full and a tube. So this shouldn't take more than a quart. I'm hoping I'm just topping it off. I'm not completely filling it. If it's anything like my wife's Pontiac, you fill it up and then within a day it drains all the way out. Not good. That's a full quart. That's not good. That's not a good sign. Alright, let's fill her up again. Let's just see, can we? I think we're almost there. I'm gonna call that good. We can make a 7 mile drive with that. According to our little box, to set dwell we need to set the red connector to the negative post on the coil and then ground the black connector and then put it to dwell. So we will do that. What do you think the best ground is for this? Ground it right here. Now, I don't even know if this sucker even works. Alright, we got that hooked up. Let's see it's fired up and see what we got. Fires right up, so I'm not too worried about it. So 8-cylinder dwell is all the way to 50. It says it's supposed to be at 30, so we can adjust that. So for timing, we're right on the mark. I highly doubt you can see that, but there's 3 notches on that tab, and the mark is close to the 5, which is where we're supposed to be at. It's a little advanced, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. So with that being said, now we can set our dwell. We're gonna lower it just a tad. The dwell set around 30. Recheck our timing. Yeah, we need to reset that. And then we can adjust our idle. Alright, with the timing set correctly and the dwell correct, you can set idle, idling a little low, and we should be on our way. Alright, I think she's ready. We have no leaks. I checked all the fluids. We have some gas. I cleaned the windshield because everybody hates it when I don't. Yeah, let's check the miles. Alright, so right now we are at 95,095 and the trip is at 588.5. And we'll see what that looks like once we get to the gas station. $20 in, which is 6.5 gallons, so enough to make it worth it. And if I ever have to drop the tank, alright, so far so good. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Fuel filter looks good. Belts look good, no leaking. Yeah, I was mainly worried about the cooling system keeping pressure, but it looks like with a new cap, what was a leak right here has kind of gone away. So let's fire it up and see what it sounds like. See, we've gone right about 5 miles. Fire's right up. Oil light's off, generator light is off. The exhaust leak has quieted down quite a bit. It's still there, but it is an improvement. So now we can take her home. big white whale did it. You can see you're at 95,106 with the trip at right at 590. So I'm guessing right around 10 miles. So that's not too bad. I got it up to about 60, 65. In the words of Donut Media, I gave her the beans a couple times, and she seems to be running quite well. I think this is gonna be the last video on it. There's really not much else I'm gonna do to it. I mean, the headlights work, the blinkers work, the brake lights work, everything works in order for them to drive it and register it as an antique. But that remains to be seen. So you might not see this car again, but it is one of those things. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's not a Corvette, yeah, I know, but it's still a really cool Cadillac that no one ever sees.